Hello, hello, and welcome to the Coaching Business Spotlight Show. I'm your host, Kat Knecht, and I'm excited to share with you the many soul driven strategies there are to help you succeed in your business and in your life. Today, we're going to look at how your creative expression is at the heart of building, maintaining, and enjoying a coaching career. When I was a little girl and I was asked what I wanted to be when I grew up, I would say, I want to be an actress, a writer, and a missionary. I love putting on a show. I was a real ham. I loved telling stories and writing plays, and I believed that helping people was my calling. So when I discovered the profession of coaching, I saw a way to put those three things together. And in my book, Evolve Your Coaching Business, I have a chapter titled Inspirational Entertainment. It's all about how to use your creative expression in service of giving people hope and helping them to be their highest selves. To help me put a spotlight on this today is Cat Williford, who has woven her career in ways that continually inspire me, and I am sure they will inspire you. Cat Williford is a pioneer in the field of coaching and coach training. In 1994, she received one of the first coach certifications in the United States. So we're going to be talking to somebody who knows her stuff. She has held the profession's highest credential of Master Certified Coach since 1998. And as a keynote speaker, author, and trainer, she is known for her humor, directness, and compassion. And in her role as an author, her book, The Ovarian Chronicles, she details the story of her own wake up call, a potential cancer diagnosis that put her at a crossroad of decisions. Her vulnerable honesty gives women permission to get real, forgive, heal, and recover their own resilience. Kat's coaching, keynotes, retreats, and writing are infused with ceremony, magic, truth, tools, strategies, abundant laughter, and always love. So, welcome to the show, Kat.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I sound so cool.
You are so cool. That's because you are so cool. And I put all of that, when I'm putting that together for the show, I'm really conscious of what I want the listening audience to know, so that they can that tunes their listening because you do know your stuff. I remember you do. I remember the first time we met or I met you, I was training at the Coaches Training Institute to be a certification leader. And you were one of the examples, they showed us throughout my whole training. And I was like, "Ooh, this woman is cool." And then as I've gotten to know you over the years, I watched how you put this piece that I call inspirational entertainment. You really brought your own personality and what you believe in and expressing yourself and having fun while holding the sacredness, I'm going to say, of what coaching really is. So I'd love to know. First of all, I just love to know how you got started, like being a coach, and what was a little bit of your journey in that?
Yeah, so we share a lot of similarities, including a name here.
That's right.
I started life on the stage, really, in the world of theater, like a little girl,
Mm,
on doing plays and community theater in the local town I grew up in. That was what I went to school for. I've got a BFA in theater performance,
wow.
and that's absolutely that's so like you, but the storytelling in performing a play or directing a play. I love to direct too when I was
Mm,
in school, and there was something about the telling of the story to move people, to increase awareness, to have someone see something from a different lens of a character. And that, when I was a little girl, no, it was just all about, this is so fun. I get to be somebody but me, and I
that's
can use
right.
my wacky skills of memorization to, say these words.
That's right.
But there, as
Yeah.
it developed, as I developed as an artist, I'm going to say,
Hmm.
what I realized, it was the storytelling, it was the crafting of the story. And with my own writing, I really wanted to tell the story, to bring forward the story, and not just a character story or my story in my book, but what are the big themes that we're all grappling with? What are those things that we're all in the midst of finding our way with? And that to me is the bigger story, that this, hopefully, the kind of education that we get to do with coaches and other training programs we're engaging in, it's about moving people. I say,
Wow.
as a coach, when we're training coaches, I tell the
Yeah.
coaches I work with, you have to be willing to be moved by your client, which doesn't mean we go get in the bathtub with them and take the ride of their journey and their feelings,
That's right.
but
That's
we
right.
have to be able to be moved. We have to be willing to be moved.
I
And
love this. I want to underline something a
yeah.
couple of things that you've said. So, and I love where you are right now. It's like that's at the heart of being a masterful coach. It's
Mm.
that we're willing to be moved. And the other part that I heard you say that I so believe in, we have to be willing to put ourselves out there to move people, like
Yes.
with our stories and with that bigger picture. So there's this piece of, there's promoting our business. I'm putting my right hand up for, it's like, yes,
Yeah.
that's great. The best way I know to promote a business
Mm.
is to do what you just said, because I think that's the most authentic way, because that's what we care about as coaches. We care about the people that we work with, about what's up for them and what's possible for them. And our stories are what they can connect with better than anything I know.
100%. I agree 100% with that, Kat. And it really is the foundation of how I built my business. I had been a performer and was in an organization called Women in Theater in Los Angeles.
Hmm.
And wouldn't you know, the woman who was in charge of programming lived in New York City at one point, and she knew Henry Kimsey House.
Oh my gosh. So that's your
And
that's your connection there, right there.
yes, before CTI was born, like, he came out to do a workshop on maintaining your dignity in the audition process in
Oh
Hollywood,
boy. Oh
which
boy. Wow.
was a big conversation, right? Like,
Yeah.
how do you be
Yeah.
authentic? How do you show them you and not get all worried about, well, what do they want from me? How do they want me to be? Da, 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 da. And it was really about show them who you are through the lens of the performer. And whether you're right for that role or not, they'll remember you.
Wow. I want to just put in here for the listening audience who might not know,
Yes.
CTI is the Coaches Training Institute, and Henry House is one of the founders. So Kat
Yes.
is talking about connecting with a founder of one of the biggest coaching organizations in the world
It's
early
true.
on. Yeah.
And so he said, I want to coach you. And I said, I don't know what that means. And he said, well, we'll find out
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
And we did. And he did coach me. And after about 3 months of working with him, I realized I had been doing for people backstage and, very informally, a lot of what he was doing with me, which was asking me a lot of questions about what I wanted, what I thought, what I felt. And I realized, wow, I'm doing that naturally already. And I told him that. And he said, hey, well, you want to come on? My partner and I are going to start doing a course. We're going to start training people. So zippity doo dah, up I go to the Bay Area, and just really didn't look. But that was 1992, and
1992, folks. Okay, we're
I
talking
was
about going back in the day when
back
this
in the
whole
day.
coaching industry was just getting
Yeah.
started. And
And
and when
I
you look
knew it
at,
was a great thing for me, and I knew it was a great thing for everybody else. So I jumped in both feet.
I could see that. It's even the way I cuz I can see you there's like moving the hands. And what what was it about that you wanted to
Mm.
jump in with both feet? And again, thinking of the people listening to this podcast, because there's a lot of people who listen to it, coaches that are like, some of them are seasoned, some of them are new, but it's like, what has us and what had you going, okay, this has all the things that I'm looking for?
I think at the core, there was a drive for possibility.
Mm.
There was a drive for creating something new. I'm an Aries. I love new, fresh, shiny object, shiny, pretty object syndrome all over the place. But there
Yeah.
was this I don't know, just somewhere deep inside me. And I think, and I know the work you do, Kat, and so many of us do in the coaching world is we really support people to get into their heart, their authentic, what's pulling them, like not what's driving them, because that might be a bunch of constructs that aren't theirs, but what's the authentic pull? It's almost like you can't, it's magnetic. And that's what I was experiencing. And I grappled with it so much because all I'd ever wanted to do was be an actor,
Oh,
perform.
so this is where I'm so curious. I've really been wanting to look at this with you because we have this in common too,
Yeah.
right? Where does that how have you found that? So you're
Mm-hmm.
grappling with it in the beginning, and how has that worked for you, bringing that actress part of you, that actor,
Yeah.
into this wonderful profession?
And when I say I grappled with letting go of what I'd always wanted. And I think that's so much of what
Uh-huh.
we work with our clients, right? Supporting them to, hey, you know what, that dream has had an expiration date and we're past it.
That's just
And
so huge. That is just a huge, yes, that's
and we get
part of
so
it, right?
stuck and mired in it. And that's what
Yeah.
Henry, as I was learning to coach and just vibing to it, it was felt easy to have these conversations. But for me, it was, now I think the infotainment, right? I call it infotainment, but that
Infotainment, I love that. Yeah.
educational piece blending with the creativity, blending with the authenticity. It is, it's an alive way of supporting development. And for me, the training I do, the conversations I get to be in, that so turns it on for me. And I love doing keynotes. I love doing workshops. I have developed tons of workshops. In fact, that's how I built my business. I didn't know what to do. I'd never taken a business course. I had a BFA, which tells everybody I can read a
Right.
lot. But there's this thing around following our intuition, following, like I sat there, thought, well, how am I going to let people know about what I do? And I thought,
Yep.
I can talk to anybody, anytime, anywhere. And so why don't I just start doing little, free workshops? So I started doing all these, lunchtime things for professional associations. And my mission was to get 3 people's cards at every
Hmm.
event that I went to.
I love that.
And
And I want to just there's these
yeah.
moments because I know it sounds because that's still true today. I
Mm,
want to just bring my own
yes.
advice in or whatever. That's still true. There's social media, and I know you and I do things on social media, and it's wonderful. But there's that concept that you just talked about, and there was a thing you said, Kat. It's like I know how to talk to people. Like this is what I know how to do, right? So in coaching, it's like we're drawn to this profession for a reason,
Mm.
and use that reason to grow your business. Use the reason you love to talk to people. You want to know. You want to get curious. There's a little strategy there. Then get 3 business cards. Have some strategy. I really believe in bringing the two together. But it's what I'm hearing from you is this authentic expression of yourself and just going for it.
Absolutely. The worst thing we can do is try to do it like somebody else.
I'm going to say amen to that. It is the worst thing we can do. And again, bringing social media in, Kat, it feels like, at least with the coaches I work with, it's so tempting to go,
Mm.
oh, look what she's doing. Now we can get inspired. Like I said, I've been so inspired by you over the years because I've seen, oh, Kat's doing this thing. That looks fun. That looks like it's something I would like to do. And so we can get inspired, but it's very different than looking, oh, I need to do it that way. That must be the right way to do it. And so I should do it that way. And that kind of kills the whole creative spark.
so kills the whole creative spark. And I will tell a story on myself. I bought one of those fancy pants, do it this way, and you'll, 6-figure launch, blah, blah, blah. Bought it hook, line, and sinker because I was like, well, I've never done this before, so I need to go learn about it. Everybody's doing it this way now. Not one person signed up for that program. Not one.
Mic
Not
drop. Mic
mic
drop
drop
moment.
moment. Because I did it exactly like they told me to do it, which had nothing to do with who I am, who really and truly I'm here to serve. Zero. I want y'all to hear this. Goose egg. And this was not when I first started. This was 2015. Okay.
Yeah.
I had been doing that. So what? I was certified in 94. Let's do the math.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I hear this so often, Kat, in my, I have a business academy for coaches, and part of it is a recovery program.
Oh, thank you.
Because
Yes.
so many people tell me, oh, I bought the big, and I did this as well. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
be right there with you, Kat. So many people say, and they get so, and I have consultations. I'm talking to a coach, and they're like, yeah, but there's this person, and they say they can make me like this big star, and I'm gonna be, 6 figures in 6 weeks. And it totally leaves out the person. It's like taking like a stamp. Now, maybe if you were, this is like if you were selling hardware, like nails and hammers, maybe, maybe you could take a program and learn how to do those things. But it's completely different with a coaching business. So I am really curious after that goose egg, zero, pay
Big
attention.
zeros. And then I was like, okay, now I've got to go pay all these people that did all these things for me. And I got zero money coming in.
Yeah, yeah. So in your own recovery process, what did you learn did work for you?
Mm. So I believe me, I had lots of conversations with myself and my coach, the
Hmm.
woman who was my coach at the time. And what it really came down to was when I don't trust myself, I will trust other people more than myself. And I think this is really important for all of us because it is like if we look at social media posts or we do, we get all caught up in, whatever we might be reading, right?
That's right.
That, oh, this is the way. It's only the way if it filters through you and comes out as an authentic expression of you, just like whatever coaching modality you learn, whether it's coactive, whether you've gone to Coach U, Hudson Institute, there's great coach training programs out there. It still has to be you with the expression of these elements or just even the competencies, that we
Yes.
hold from the ICF.
Right.
They're expressed through us. We don't do them.
That's right.
So I
Absolutely.
was trying to do somebody else's program without it being authentic to me.
Mhm.
And I'll just say it, it was a bro program. I'm a gal's gal. I've got goddess written all over me. I've been doing
You
modern
sure do.
goddess workshops since 1994.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
ceremony and
Yeah.
ritual. And I say, Kat, you're not a bro.
There is definitely that feminine. I think this is a true thing though in our
Yes.
culture and in business with business, building programs. They often have a very what I would call masculine focus, go get it done, have the goals and do it fast. There's kind of a whole fast track.
Yeah.
Whereas most of us have our own slow and fun, but there's fun. So I want to look at that with you because this is what I
Yes.
promised on the show. It's like
Yeah.
if you really do it your way and find your own, there's a creative spark I believe that
Mm.
we all have that can get activated in a way
Yes.
that brings in what you brought in the beginning about telling our stories, connecting with people, real human but fun, like as like let's make this enjoyable why we're here. I don't know,
I
that's how
would
I look at it anyway.
I am over here nodding my head, Kat, because I couldn't agree more. Truly, we are here with a spark of joy.
Hmm.
And and by the way, I don't want to make the bro programs wrong. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I
yeah.
learned some
I don't want to get a
really
lot of
neat.
angry. I don't want to get a lot of angry emails about
Exactly.
this, right?
You can listen, I adore men. So it's not that. It's but me
Yeah.
adopting my, like, trying to put me into their box did not work.
Yeah.
Did I learn some awesome tools and strategies? Yes.
Yes.
When I applied those into me, I could leverage out the information in a way that was authentic, that could speak to my people. But writing copy like somebody else writes copy is not ever going to be the thing
It's
that
not ever
attracts
going to be the
your
thing.
people to you. And that was the
Right.
big disconnect
Yep.
there. And so yeah, I really don't want to make any of these programs wrong, because I have, every time, even if it hasn't been successful for me,
Yes,
I've
absolutely.
learned something.
Absolutely. But the key I feel you're bringing here is when you're looking at growing your coaching business, yes, strategy is great. Get some strategy, get some tools,
Yes.
but it has to be your way. And there joy is possible. We can actually talk about coaching,
Mm,
promote our business, connect with people. I think of marketing for a coach, it's a way to give people hope. I feel like this is our
mm,
message is to go, okay, I'm going to go out there and say, whoever you are, I'm going to, talk about the pain that I experience and some of my issues
mhm.
and how I overcame it. Not that I am not to brag about myself, but to go, if I can do it, you can do it.
Yes, thank you. That's it. We are, we share our stories not because we need everybody to know them, but
Right.
because they can inspire.
And they absolutely do inspire. And I think it's like the number
Yeah.
one way. And this is a great segue, I think. So as I said in the beginning, Kat
Mm,
is the author of the Ovarian Chronicles. It's a beautiful book, Expectations, Heartache, Resilience, where she
mm,
tells her own story. There was something I want to read a quote here, and I don't did this just really touched me personally. My masks rise up when I feel the need to hide behind something because I feel too vulnerable. I want to just I want to stop there a moment. I'm going to read the next piece because I feel like with as coaches, when we are talking to people about what we care about, it's so vulnerable and it's so easy to put that mask up. And I think that's what leads us to going and, wanting to be like other people and let's do it somebody else's way because that's so much easier. But this next line, when I don't really feel like I know what I'm doing or that other people don't know what they are doing, that's, as you say, the chief operating officer of control mask rises. I feel like there is such a deep truth in that when we don't feel like we know what we're doing. And it's like, I don't know who to trust or where I can go or like, so I'm just curious what you learned about that
ah.
mask and how to, yeah.
Well, first of all, I want to say, like, I believe our masks, and we all wear them. Haven't met anybody who doesn't have any masks that they pop on from now time to time. We develop those because our psyche is smart. They develop to get us through a crisis moment, a scary moment, a traumatic moment. They only become a problem when we are no longer in that situation and we continue to wear them, because then people don't know who we are.
Mm,
So when I'm
right.
wearing what I call my kook mask, my COOC, Chief
Oh,
Operating
your kook
Officer
mask.
of Control,
I
do I
love that.
have her around? I
Oh, I'd love
made
to see
her.
her. I'd love
Yes,
to
I
see
know she's around here
her.
somewhere
Okay.
because I showed her the other day.
So
Um,
we'll actually get a snap. Well, have you give a
yeah,
snapshot of that so we can put that, in the trailer
so,
of this so people can
yes.
see it. That's great.
And what I realize is that's the mask that doesn't let me ask for help.
Mm,
It's the mask that keeps me feeling safe when I feel too vulnerable. Now I have a line out there that I feel like vulnerability is my greatest strength. My
Hmm.
willingness to be vulnerable is one of my greatest
I'm
strengths
going to
because,
agree with that right in this moment because you are being vulnerable right here. I want to actually, I want to hear more, but I want to
yeah.
bring in. So, we're talking about inspirational entertainment, whatever you might call it. And I want everybody who's listening right now to notice that's what we're doing right here. So, you, Kat, are sharing with me and with this audience something I can feel it's vulnerable. You're telling the truth about yourself. And even though I'm hosting this show, I'm taking it in and it's impacting me personally.
Wow, thank you for that. Yes, and that's the power of vulnerability, right?
Yeah.
That we do move people. And as coaches, that's why I say we have to be willing to be moved by our clients' vulnerability, by their willingness to let us in to so that we can support them and point out their beauty, their astonishing talents and strengths and abilities, and see those possibilities that maybe they're not seeing from behind a mask.
Mm. So, what inspired you to write this book? It's a two-part question. What inspired you
Okay.
to write it, and how has it worked for you? I don't know if it's like a tactical piece to that question, but how does it work? Because I know a lot of coaches want to write books and they're looking like, well, how does that work in my business? Like how have you
Yeah.
made that work or how has that worked for you?
So I'll answer the first question first. That
Okay, good.
it was a book I couldn't not write.
Mm,
I was actually writing a different book at the time on leadership. And this thing rose up in my life where I was really having to make a decision whether I was going to go a traditional route, Western medicine. I know, by the way, I'm the daughter of a surgeon. So to not go that route was really tricky.
yeah.
Brought up a lot of stuff for me. And as I got further and further into my journey of healing and zooming, we'll say, old wounds, pain, grief, anger, I got healthier and healthier and healthier. I thought, this is the work I do. This is the work I do with my clients. So I decided to share the story because and it really is about taking charge of our lives by taking charge of our health, our body, making decisions for ourselves. And it's very challenging to do that when your feet are up in stirrups. Sorry, guys, but it's a unique experience women have had. And
Yeah.
so I really want
Yeah.
to be mindful that though it's my story, it's every woman's story in terms of what we grapple with from
Yeah.
our very first menstrual cycle.
And telling your own personal story and even what I get about your book and other books is when we tell our own personal story, it's for people who are going through similar things. And this is where I'm curious how it fits in your, it's like people don't have to be going through that exact thing. They don't have to have had their feet up in stirrups or, whatever. It's
Exactly.
like they can relate. We relate on that deeper level. Like I have been through something like that. I have felt that experience and hearing the story, especially told through someone who cares like you do and knows so deeply about helping and supporting other people. It has a
Yeah.
real particular impact coming from that. I think of it like that coach like philosophy.
Thank you for that. That was really my hope that it
Yeah.
would really, I wanted to not just have it be a medical memoir, but to really have some tools and strategies and ways forward for people. And I think that's the segue to your second question,
Yeah.
because I do work a lot with somatics, the
Mhm.
body, right? Body centered coaching and bringing that in. And so there's so much of that in the book that I can point people to and say, hey, you know, or people will come to me because they've read the book and say, I
Yeah.
need to know how to talk to my body. I don't know its language. I'm like, well, let's go find out. Let's
That's
go
great.
get your personal body language so that it can, your body, because I believe our bodies are always speaking to us.
Always.
Are we listening?
Yes.
Are we paying attention? Are we understanding the language that it's sharing with us? And that really is one of my big missions for all of us, to really be paying attention. What are those earlier little pieces, the
Mm.
glimmers, the twinkles, the twinges that tell us something is out of balance? What needs to be brought back into uh, a workable balance, a healthy balance?
Such an important message, so huge. And I want to tie in. So, if you're out there listening to this and you are a coach who wants to write a book or write a
Mm.
blog or put an expression of yourself out there, this is what Kat has done, right? Has put her own personal story. It's not a strategy. It's right. This is what we're really, this soul strategy piece is what I always find so
Yeah.
fascinating. It's, it's expressing your own journey and then finding through that expression how it connects to people, right? I get that sense that, oh, it really connected to people in this way around listening to their bodies. And that is such an important part of coaching and your coaching in particular. And then it becomes a part of your business because people will read the book or you can point to the book and it really I think it's a wonderful way of bringing this self-expression into a business, giving people hope. And you said it's like when you do it, it's also you get to grow and
Oh,
heal and find new
oh,
things.
writing this book, when you write about your own life or your own
Yeah.
story or a piece of your story, you revisit it in a way that adds an opportunity for more healing, for more
Mm.
growth, for more awareness, for more latitude and resilience around those
Oh
pieces of the
yes.
story.
Yes, I love that word resilience. And we're needing to wrap up.
Yeah.
Although I could keep talking about this forever, but I want to kind of put a little bit of a bow on this.
Mm-hmm.
So we started out talking about how inspirational entertainment can be a part of a coaching career,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I think you just beautifully wrapped it up. We are on a quest, most of us coaches, for our own personal growth, spiritual growth, you know, health. We're on our own personal quest. We want to help other people. And the best way I know to do that as a coach is to, as you are, get very well trained, lots of training, get lots of ways that you can help people, whatever school you go to, however you do that, and then be willing to take your own creative expression and put it into the world with vulnerability. And it's going to heal you, it's going to grow you, and it certainly will attract people who are right for you to work with.
May I just add something to what you just said?
Yes, please do.
It's not even a yes, and it's for those who are listening that are more on a more introverted scale where they're not going to go and maybe do something there. You like work with your coach to find your artful, creative, inspirational expression of who you are. It doesn't, again, coming back to, it doesn't need to look like anybody else's. What
Nobody
is
else.
your authentic way of doing that? And when I work with new coaches, like, but I'm so scared. I don't want to be on stage. I'm like, so who said you got to
E-
be on stage? Nobody.
Exactly. That's right. That's all made
What,
up. That's
where do you thrive? That's the thing. What brings you aliveness? Where do you thrive? That is where you will find that creative, authentic, inspirational expression.
Well, thank you so much, Kat, for being on the show. It's been a joy, a pleasure.
Thank you, Kat. I've loved this
Wow.
conversation.
So much, so much, so much. There's information in, the whole setup of the show, but where can people find you? So those who are just listening and don't do any reading, what's the best way for them to find out what you do and where you are?
You know what? My website, it's my name, www.catwilliford, cat with a C,
That's right.
williford.com.
Cat with a C.
My
Right.
book information is on there. My coaching information is on there. And
Beautiful.
I love to be in communication. So even if you don't want to work with me or whatever, or something moved you or you have an idea, I'd love to hear from you. And my email is cat@catwilliford.com.
All right. You hear that, people? Go out there, reach out to Kat. Thank you so much, Kat.
Thank you.